Oh, the baby.
Oh, can you hear me?
Mhm.
Good to see you. Oh no, my speaker's not working.
There we go.
There we go.
What's the new Concom member's name?
Emmett, this is
Yeah.
Emmett.
Emmett. Hi, Emmett.
Can
You're
I
so
say
cute.
hello? Well, there you go.
What a calm baby.
Uh, he's come now. He's pretty good most of the time.
Yeah.
He's
Aw,
tiny.
so cute. Hi,
Thank you.
Emmett. Does he like watching like the screen? Does he like watching TV and things?
And, yeah, I think he does. He likes his reflection in the mirror and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think he hasn't had too many camera appearances before. So in his short tenure. But yeah, he was born on July 1st, right? No,
Uh-oh, you got it wrong.
I'm 16th. I'm off by a month.
And 2 days. It's 18.
So he's about 3 months old then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. He's doing good.
Oh, good to see all of you. I haven't seen you for a while, Mark. It's good to see you.
How are you? Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. Well, I think everyone's here. Bob's
right.
here. Mayor's
Swap.
here. And it's 7 o'clock. So it's 7 o'clock on October 23rd, 2025, and I'm calling this meeting of the Shutesbury Conservation Commission to order. This meeting's being recorded. Welcome, everybody. First item, I do have some things to just chat about quickly. One, just mostly just emails that you guys have probably seen. One is about the power line, the WT11 Eversource I think it's high tension power line project. Did you see those emails? Yeah. So that like the town's known about it. I think you guys have known about it because there's been other things that have come in to us about it for a while. And Michael DiChiara has been
Oh, right.
working
I
with
did
some
see that.
folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been working with some folks from Pelham to respond to, so they had to file with MIPA. You know, that it's a large, huge project. They want to double the width of the cleared right of way. So it's over, I think it was 278 trees total, or 278 acres, I'm sorry, of trees, because it starts north of Shutesbury, but then the line goes through Shutesbury, goes through Pelham, goes through Belchertown, goes all the way down to Ludlow. So the whole length of this line, they want to take trees on either side. So yeah, 278 acres, I believe. It's a huge thing. So they had to file with MIPA. Eventually they'll come to us to get a permit with the Shutesbury Concom, but that's kind of down the road. But they filed with MIPA, and then MIPA, of course, sent some comments and was looking for public comment. And so Michael DiChiara is working with a couple of people from the planning board in Pelham and put together a response letter to send to MIPA, which he is, I guess, kind of bringing to the select boards to get them to sign off on this for support. And then the most recent thing that happened in the last week was that Amherst came forward and said, hey, let's all meet as a region to talk about how to submit some comments, and then also to talk about possible mitigation ideas, because part of all of that impact is they're going to have to offer all of the towns some forms of mitigation. So the line like barely touches Amherst, but whatever, it's fine. They wanted to organize this meeting with all the different Concoms. And so anyway, you guys might have seen it. There was a doodle poll to
Right.
come to the meeting. I submitted the days that I could go in the doodle poll. And then I forwarded it to Michael DiChiara, who then also included these people from planning in Pelham who weren't on that list, because I think that list from Amherst was just conservation commissions. So Michael, I think, did the doodle poll too. And so anyway, that's what that was. And I don't think I think he's got a day where he was gonna come to the Shutesbury Select Board with that letter. If you guys haven't seen the letter that he put together, I can send that out to everybody, just so you guys see it. Anyway, that's what that was. And it'd be great if whoever wants to come to that meeting, should come. The other thing that's been shooting around with the emails was Tom Seifert was commenting about the Beaver Dam under what is that, Lakeview Road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, there was sort of there was an email back today from Haley about sort of what the conclusion was about that. And just so you guys know, in terms of the Concom, we get involved when a beaver dam's being breached. We're not involved with trapping at all. So it sounds like when Beaver Solutions does get hired by the town, which it does sound like Haley's plan, then work would actually be happening within the dam itself. They'd be putting in a beaver deceiver potentially, or whatever ideas they come up with. They're pretty creative, like Tom had said. They know what they're talking about, so they might have other ideas. And when they actually go in and start messing around with the water flow, that's when we would get involved and be issuing them a permit to be able to do that kind of thing. The trapping, we don't have anything to do with. That's Board of Health. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention is that starting in November, we are, unless, Tom, did you want to say anything about that?
Thank you very much for asking. No, but I appreciate the explanation you just gave. I did some research on the Wildlife Protection Act, and that's how I understood it. Trapping, Board of Health, and then dam work, Concom, and Board of Health.
Yeah.
Thanks very
Yeah,
much.
because our main concern is really the change in flow. Like if it can cause damage downstream, you can also breach a dam and cause a big effect on water that's been held back for a long time, that's created a pond or that kind of an ecosystem. So that's the Concom's role, I guess,
Sure.
But then my last thing was that November, we only have one meeting, and I think, did we decide to go with the second meeting of the month for the winter time versus the fourth? I think the second works because of all the holidays. Scott's nodding his head.
Yeah, I think, that's what I had it on for. It's the
What's-
13th.
The 13th.
Okay,
So the
Yeah.
13th, okay.
yep, sounds good. Great, next, vote, review and vote of minutes from October 9th. Did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes?
Mhm.
I thought they looked good. You did the, big thing with all the regulations, and I thought Mateo did a good job with that. All right, I take a motion to approve.
I will make a motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all right, roll call, Con,
Hi.
Fox,
Aye.
and Douglas,
Aye.
and Wilson. Aye. Great. Next is site visits, Mayor.
Yeah, I did the site visit. I just housekeeping, Bob wasn't at the last meeting.
Oh, right,
I-
Bob.
I will rescind my making of the motion.
Okay.
And your vote too, your
Right.
aye vote, you should abstain, right?
Right. Probably the cleanest thing to do would be to have somebody else make the motion and then the vote carried.
Mateo, you have your hand up?
Yeah, just to, I mean, obviously this is a decision that Bob can make, but just to clarify that there is no requirement that a board or committee or commission member who is not present at a meeting abstains or recuses on a vote on the minutes from that meeting. They can still vote on it. But that's a decision that Bob can make.
Right.
But they're
Okay,
required to.
That's true.
then I will keep my vote because I thought they were encapsulated perfectly. So
Great. Thanks, Mateo, for clarifying that. It's very helpful. Okay, back to site visits.
Right.
And Mayor.
So I sent out an email this afternoon. I don't know if Mateo, if you could put the pictures up. Just because I just want everybody to see. I sent the email around, it said 3:24.
Do you have those pictures, Mateo?
I do. Yep.
So I went on Monday. It was raining. So this is like the retention pond that or basin that seems to be working well. From this one, it goes to the one that goes across closest to the road. It kind of goes a little north and then west. I did not look at that pond because I would have had a like they were digging for a leach field to directly to the right of this, but that's the one that needs to be reconstructed. So they have not done that yet. So the next picture is this is they redid this one, this retention basin, and um in the far, like in the middle of the picture all the way to the end is they kind of basically, it seemed like they moved where the water kind of flows through, and it seems uh like they put in like a sidewalk back kind of to the left there, closest to the building, and then outside of this picture to kind of to the left is another sidewalk, but they made, they redid that. It looks good. It seems like it's closer to the building than I remembered it being. And then directly to the right is if you could go to I think it's the next picture. Yep, that's they redid this as well. So the water will flow from there into this area. Everything's looking pretty good. There, it had rained pretty heavily. So I didn't see there wasn't any, nothing's filled up. So, and let's see, the next picture I think is that's looking basically kind of over towards where the well is, back at the back of the library. And they had started planting trees. I took a picture of the trees. I don't know why they weren't covered up, but they were like in the ground. And then in the front of the building, they had, I didn't take a picture of that either, but they had put, they had like another 15 or so trees that were going to be going in the ground. And they're working like kind of to the right, in the background of this photo where they are, starting to work on lighting, and they're gonna, you know, pretty soon be working on the parking lot area. So then what's next? Is there another photo? I think there was. Um, Tree, yeah, that's what I guess the trees were part of the plantings that were required by Concom. Um, and I think there's one photo. Is there another photo? Um, oh, yeah. I thought there was one more, but hold on, let me look at my notes. Oh yeah, that was it. So, that's the only thing I want to, you know, make sure that is done at the next time is that retention basin that's closest to the street. All of that, everything else seemed to be, doing very well. That huge dirt pile is gone. And uh all the fencing's down. And so uh I just didn't know, like in this photo, I didn't know if that, there were parameters as to where the retention basins are supposed to go. So um I guess I was just looking about, to ask
Do
questions
they,
about that.
is that loam and seed? Do you know? It looks like it's loam. Do you know if it got seeded too?
Not when I was there. It had, they have, like, they were starting to put, so they put in like a sidewalk, like of, stone, like kind of like a stone brick, but then they were also putting in like a paved, sidewalk as well. So, um, they had just started, um, Roger wasn't there. It was just me and Mary Ann, so we were just kind of taking pictures and trying to figure it out. So I didn't have his insight. I guess he leaves earlier now that the project's, closer to being done. Mary Ann said that the opening date would probably be, it looked like December 1st.
That's good.
And that's pretty much as far as
Yeah,
I got.
sorry I missed it. I wanted to go,
Oh,
but I mean,
no
I
worries.
totally, I spaced it. But
No
yeah,
worries.
just looking at this, my only concern is that that's definitely loam that they put down, and usually they'll loam and seed at the same time, and then what you usually want to do is put mulch
Yeah.
or matting over that so that if it rains a lot,
Yeah,
it doesn't end up going like into that
yeah,
basin and filling that basin again, because they
exactly,
obviously worked on the basin to make it um
exactly.
make the dimensions, and you don't want it to fill back up with loam. So maybe if I get a chance to go over there, I could call Mary Ann and just ask her if they plan to mulch or mat
Mm.
over that at all. Um,
Um,
I did have a conversation with her. When was that? Where she clarified that like this basin and some of the other bigger ones, I'm not that the one that you had a picture of that looked more like rocks, I think might be infiltration. But this basin and the other ones are actually not meant to, yeah, I think that's infiltration. But the other ones are actually just sedimentation basins. They're not meant to infiltrate. They're meant to just hold water so sediments can drop out, and then the water is supposed to move on to the next basin and then eventually out of
okay,
the site. So they're acting more like a sedimentation basin, not an infiltration, which makes it a little more less concerning if some of the loam and stuff ends up in there, but you wouldn't want very much, that's for sure. Um, anyway, do you have another visit planned?
I don't, I
Okay.
don't, I was gonna, see, um, if, I don't know if you're available on a Monday, the 3rd. I think you had, was it 3:45 or 4, somewhere in there? Yeah, so either uh, I can do the 3rd or the 10th at, uh, 4-ish, around somewhere around 4.
That sounds
Um,
great. I'm gonna put that, how about for everybody else? Would that work? Either Monday the 3rd or Monday the 10th?
I think either one may work for me. If you would just want to send
Okay.
out a notice.
Okay,
around 4?
works for
Okay.
me.
Okay. I'll say the 10th then. How's that? Because I think that would really bring it like really within a couple weeks of mostly everything being done. Um,
Let me put it in my calendar so I don't forget this time.
um, so I'll say 4 o'clock on Monday, November 10th, and I will send Mary Ann a text right now. Um,
Great.
Okay. That was the only site
Mayor,
visit I had.
Mayor, I had a question.
Yeah.
In years past, water has been migrated off-site through the hay bales, et cetera. You saw no evidence of that this time?
No, no, but that basin that's closest to the road absolutely needs to be redone because that was the one that just it wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing. Um and it had to be yeah, has to be redone. That was the one that Jan and I, every couple of weeks would go and they'd say, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna do it at the end." So I just want to make sure that they're actually gonna do it at the end.
The end
So
of the year.
yeah, very close actually.
Also, I thought it was unusual that that one photo of kind of a pit with a tree in it, and you could actually see its root ball. That's really not a good practice, when we're about to have frost and stuff like that. So that I thought was a little bit
Yeah.
odd. That's a
Yeah.
required tree that doesn't seem to be very good silviculture, but it's up to
Yeah.
them to make it right.
I don't know
Ma-
where because Roger wasn't there, I don't know where they were with the seeding and with getting the trees covered up but like I said, in the front of the building there were probably about 10 or 15 trees that were ready to go but they hadn't dug holes for them yet, but they were sitting there ready to be planted. I'm not exactly sure where they were gonna go, but um and so it's kind of I think it's at this point one of those kind of fast moving parts of the where one day one thing's going on and the next thing it's everything's kind of taking shape. So
Yeah, and that was Monday that you were there, so today's Thursday, and I thought would be that they're watching the weather, because starting tonight and into the weekend, it is supposed to start getting cold at night. Like up until
Yeah.
now, it's still been 40 something at night, 40, 45, but now it's gonna
Yeah.
get below freezing, I
Mhm.
think, so hopefully they planted the trees and
yeah.
or are protecting them somehow if they haven't planted them
Um,
yet. Okay, last Friday, I ended up stopping in at Camel Brook project, which I'm not sure who still remembers that. I know Scott because he went out. This was something that got permitted 2 years ago, probably. And last year at some point they took down the trees. So what it is it's DCR rebuilding a bridge. They kind of put in sort of one of those instant bridges. It's just a bridge you just drop right in. And this what's left of the project at least now is the paving of the roads, so it just got delayed. And so last year they did take down trees. I don't know, Scott, you did like the initial site visit, right? Before they had done anything. Yeah, just the erosion control. Was there a new bridge there when you were there?
A new bridge? I don't think so.
Okay. So he just called and said that they wanted to, they're continuing with the project right now. And so I went out on Friday and I'll just show you some pictures. If I can figure it out. Can you see my screen? Okay, so let me just, I wonder if there's a picture of the bridge or if he just,
Oh,
because this is the bridge right here on the side, on the right-hand side there. It's just one of those bridges you just lay down. And so what this is basically what I asked them to do is to redo the erosion control. There's quite a bit of erosion control coming off of both sides of this bridge for 200 feet on all four sides, so kind of both sides of the road in both directions. And the erosion control had just gotten old because they put it in, year and a half ago or something. So they went in and put new erosion control sort of on top of the old erosion control or right next to the old erosion control. And what the work left to do is, so here's the road. I think this is, the bridge is like on the bottom side of the photo. And what they need to do is just regrade the road so it meets up with the bridge. So they're going to bring in a bunch of material. It's all gravel. There's no pavement that's going to happen. And this is just a DCR road that it comes right off of 202. And they put this big bridge in, I think, basically so they can get equipment up in there for fires and also to maybe do some forestry work. So anyway, so the project is probably going right now. And so if anybody's interested in going out again over the next couple weeks, that's when the project's going to be happening. Anybody have any questions? No. Okay. Make sure you guys saw all of them. Yeah, there you can see the old erosion control, and they just basically placed new erosion control next to the old that they had. That's it.
It looked solid and it was staked too, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Next, land management update. Scott, you have anything?
I maybe before I get to that, related to that project, I just got to think, I was wondering where that was at. So it's good to see it was still moving along. There was another project that I looked at about the same time on DCR land, on New Boston Road, where they were gonna be doing work on that bridge. Do you remember that? And I don't think I ever saw anything, like they had done the delineation, but I don't know that they had ever done the project. I don't know if they're planning to, but maybe the next time we're talking to them, it might be a good thing to check in on and see if they still were planning to do work there or not.
Yeah, I feel like they did that one, but not sure they actually went all the way and got a certificate of compliance or anything, which we should follow up on too with people to make sure that they do that.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's see, for land management report, I had a couple of things to update folks on. I heard from Penny. She sent an email, I think, to all of us about the top of the lake and the buckthorn treatment that occurred there in the middle part of the month, and it seemed like that went really well, which is good. The whole side was pretty well covered in buckthorn, and this should help with access and controlling those invasives, so that was good news. I think Mateo's on. I think he and I and Haley were having a conversation via email about moving forward with the design build project at Southbrook, and it sounded like, Mateo, that was something that you thought maybe you could take a swing at, maybe working with Donna to make sure that we bid that out correctly. It's a pretty big project. I think we're estimating it to be over 50,000. And so it seemed like maybe there was a way forward with that, with Mateo working on that, but I would leave that to you, Mateo, if there's anything more you want to add, or if you had an opportunity to have more of a conversation with Haley or Donna.
So I started drafting the request for bids, or the invitation for bids. And about an hour ago, I got an email from Haley saying that she was also drafting an invitation for bids. So we'll put our heads together. We're definitely gonna have something pretty soon. But I do want to run it by Donna before we, bring it to you guys to take a look at. and start advertising it. It would be great to, I think, get this posted where it needs to be posted before December.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for doing that. So that would be exciting if we can get that out. And I don't know, Beth, if you wanted me to bring up, I did do some initial, I took a swing at some draft regulations for Southbrook, and I think we had before the Concom, I think we were asked by various folks to think about regulations for that management area. I think this had come up before when we had folks who were driving on it. And we looked to get some signage that was put up, and then I think it came up again when folks were leaving kayaks and canoes and having fires and other stuff on the town beach and asking about that. So I did take an initial swing at pulling together what might be some good regulations in line with the management plan that had been drafted previously. And I think there's probably quite a bit more that could be added to, but anyways, I don't know when you wanted to talk about that, Beth, and certainly I think it would need some input from Donna, and I don't know if it makes sense to get that input before or after we talk about it, for the commission to review it, but I did have some draft language I pulled together.
Yeah, I guess I think maybe send it around to the commission first, and just so that everybody feels like it's kind of heading in the right direction. And maybe even at our next meeting on the 13th, if you send it around to everybody, that would be their homework to read through it, and we can see what we think on the 13th. And then,
Okay.
once we get sort of a version that everybody is comfortable with, yeah, we can have Donna take a look at it too.
Perfect. I'll do that. I'll email that to all of you, and we can talk about it at our meeting in November. That'll be good.
Perfect.
I think that's all I have for my management report, unless you have any questions.
Nope, no more questions. At our last meeting, Kestrel came to talk about that 9-acre piece of land across from Brightwater Bog, and I did. I've made an effort to get on the select board agenda. I forget the date. To just talk to the select board about whether the town is interested in that, because we'd be using CPA money, and we have to start that process. And so I guess my one thing would be, if I go to the select board and they say, yeah, sure, then Scott, maybe you and I could work on the CPA application.
Yeah,
for that,
that would
because
be
it would
great.
come from the Concom.
Yeah, happy to do that.
Cool.
One other thing I neglected to mention, but I do on my agenda, I have following up on some of our conservation restriction monitoring too. I think we'll probably do
Oh,
for
yeah.
the beginning this year. We have a few that are done by Kestrel, and one that typically we have done, like at the Old Peach Orchard. And I don't know if we did that this year. My years are kind of slipping together, but I don't think we did.
Yeah, I don't think we've done any this year. I don't.
Yeah, and we have another one we've contracted before, so maybe I'll do some working on that and see if we can get that lined up for this fall yet.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Sounds good. And that actually just reminded me too, I think I mentioned at the last meeting that a friend of mine's on the recreation committee, and we've been working on these monthly hikes through open space and trails in town, in Shutesbury. And I'll send you guys some info on that. It hasn't been voted on yet by the rec committee, which it has to be voted on to, I guess, to hold events. You have, the committee actually has to vote. So I think at their next meeting, they would be voting to go forward, but we've already sort of picked dates and places and stuff like that, and have a draft flyer. So once it gets voted on and it's official, I'll send it around to folks. And then Bob, you had your day. Did I talk to you about changing it to January 1st?
Um, yeah, so I think I had put out, uh, the Saturday following Christmas and the following Saturday following Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it January 1st. So,
Oh,
oddly enough, I'm running a different hike for a conservation trust on that day. But that is a sweet spot to get people to come because they're ready to walk off their holiday stuff. So it certainly is a good day.
well, there is sort of that tradition. I think Kestrel does one on January 1st. Like all the groups do the big January 1st hikes, which is fun. But there's no reason we can't do another one the day, that you were thinking of doing on a different day and right around Christmas time. We can talk
Yeah,
about that.
I think this Saturday is the 26th or 27th, and oftentimes it's when the kids have
Definitely.
driven the parents nuts, and they just want to get outside the house and not go shopping. So that's often a good sweet spot too.
Yeah, it says that it's the 27th.
27th.
27th, yeah.
So it's still in my calendar because you
Okay.
had mentioned it. So
All right. So if I did a little recon of that little loop at the off of Russell, what's that spring? Gosh, what's that conservation area called?
off of which one?
On Lake Wyola in the off of
Southbrook?
Southbrook.
No.
Yeah, Southbrook. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think that would make a great little loop. And if there's ice, we could do an ice fishing demo on and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it's often
Ooh.
fun to do hikes that time of year.
That sounds great. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay, great. Well, I will probably recruit one or two of you to go with me on Thanksgiving, and we'll plan it for the next month in December. How's that sound?
Sounds great. I'm willing to do that. That would be fun, and wherever else would be fun.
Excellent.
Need to get out. All right. Next is the review of Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs Conservation Restriction for 101 Leverett Road. And Mark is here. Hi, Mark. Oh,
Last name.
I couldn't hear you for a second there.
Oh,
You're kind of coming and going. Can you guys hear him?
It sounds like you break up a little there, Mark.
put it on mute. How's that?
That was
Or-
good.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's better.
Thumbs, hands, whatever. So Miller, I was saying hello, but I don't know if I can pronounce your last name correctly.
It's very simple. It's Opie.
Wonderful. So this is, oh, there's Dave. So this
Yeah.
is Dave and Miller. I just want to introduce them to the board. I know they've already spoken with Beth. They have my parcel under deposit. So they
Yay!
have a lot of connection to Shutesbury already, and they can explain that to you, but I just wanted to introduce them to the board, and I'm happy to have them involved in the remaining process. Let's hope it's almost there. We're almost there. So
We are.
I'll let Mila say a few words if she'd like to, and then I'd like to just discuss the CR edited version. I think they did a great job in a short amount of time for us, and maybe we can put that to rest tonight. So Miller, the floor is yours.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for the nice introduction. It's nice to meet everyone. It's good to see you, Beth. Mateo, I don't see you, but it's thank you for everything. Yeah, so I don't know, perhaps you guys know my sister, Nancy Matthews. She's lived here for 20 some years. And so Dave and I have been coming up here for that long, and we've fallen in love with Shutesbury. And so we're really hoping that this works out with Mark and the land and everything. This Mark's land is a half a mile away from Nancy. So it seems so wonderfully perfect for us. And we're hoping to build our forever home there. And I know Mark's done a gazillion tons of work on figuring out what to do with it. And so we're hoping that that things are going to work out. So it's nice to meet everyone. I can't wait to meet everybody in person. And yeah, Mark, go.
Thanks. Dave, we let you off the hook. Yeah, I knew it. You get to know personalities pretty quickly. So I had Chris from Berkshire Design send over a second copy of the CR with the changes made, but taking away the items in the margin. I just thought it might be easier to read for the state. And I think Mateo can discuss this with his contact at the state. Do they want two copies? Do they want one with all the information in the margin showing what exactly was done, highlighting it, and then a finished copy without the stuff in the margin, which would seem to make sense? The only concern that I have, and I think, again, Donna's not here, so I think that Mateo can ask his contact at the state. We have in here at the beginning address of premises 101 Leverett Road, and then it says a portion thereof of tax lot H151 and a portion of the D 3302-127. The concern is that they've made comment, the state has made comment that they'd like to see accurate book and page of the restricted area, the area that's being restricted for conservation. So that means I'd have to record it. And as I said in my email to everyone, I'm a little uncomfortable recording something that hasn't been approved. Heaven forbid this falls through, and now I have a piece of land that's got a large portion of it under restriction. And I'm not sure how that works, but I'm sure the state runs into this all the time. So if Mateo could ask them what they prefer, and if we get through this tonight and everybody feels comfortable with having this go back to the state, then Mateo can check with them first to make sure that we can present it the way they want it. I'm guessing, I mean, I've done this for a while, and I'm thinking that probably if I recorded it, recorded just the plan, not the conservation restriction, that the plan could be usurped, I guess, with a new plan, or, if this fell through, I could do something to have that removed. But again, I'd have to have that approved by my attorney or by Donna McNichol, or the state letting us know how they want to handle it. So that's my only concern with it. I've gone through it front to back. I'm really happy that Chris was able to handle it so quickly. It's pretty mundane stuff. It was just cross this out and add this. And if you guys have taken a look at it, I don't see anything that's, as Beth and Donna said, there's nothing detrimental to the town or that's been taken away or added that would be problematic for the Conservation Commission as this holder of the restriction, or to the town of Shutesbury. So I vote yes. Let's go. Mine doesn't count. I know.
Yeah, looking through the state's comments, it was fun. None of them, it didn't, like you said, in terms of what I feel like the Conservation Commission's concerns are and everything, nothing was really changed. In fact, there was a little bit of, with the agricultural uses that got moved to not permitted, I think it actually became a little bit more restrictive, which is what we want to see. So I saw no problems with it at all. And I guess I understand what they're saying about the book and page, because for them, it's just easier if that information is in there and they approve it, then it's completely approved. Eventually that info has to get added to the document. So it's sort of like, at what point does that get added, but I think asking the state that question is the best thing to do. So, but yeah, I had any other comments or concerns. Did anybody else have any?
I honestly think this one was front loaded, and the as far as extensive review, and I think the changes made were de minimis, frankly.
Yeah, a lot of it was just formality kind of stuff. The correct legal way of referring to things and stuff like that. So
How they want it, necessarily better or worse, but it's just the way they're used to doing it, I suppose. And I agree with you, Beth, that we all agreed on the agricultural and forestry ahead of time. So it was fine from my perspective. I already thought that we had made sure that was something that couldn't be done except for the modest forestry that could be done for cordwood. So yeah, I saw no changes that were negative for myself or the buyers either. So I'm happy with it. And if Mateo can just touch base with the state before you guys send this over, if you're good with this. I don't know, do you want to, would you do a vote on this tonight, or would you?
We might as well vote that we're in favor to have it sent back to the state with the changes that have been made by the state, and then also the Berkshire Design, few little, just responses. Eventually we're gonna have to sign it again.
Yeah.
And, I suppose it comes back from the state and then goes to what, the select board, and
And
then everybody has to
Concom.
sign it.
And then I think
Yeah.
the planning board would review, just that'd be past you guys, but the planning board would then review and see that the select board has signed, Concom has signed, state has signed, and that the CR is in place with a holder. And then I guess they would do a final vote, even though they've approved the permit already, it was contingent upon certain items. And I would have to get the $7,500 to you folks and the 10,000 to the neighbor. I hope the neighbor's still there. That would be a little interesting. Tell somebody take the $10,000, please. So great. If anybody has any questions to me, I'm happy to answer them. If not, and you want to go forward with a vote, I'm happy to listen.
Yeah, I think we vote tonight, and then I do think we'll vote again to sign. Once we get it back from the state,
Yes.
we'll have at one of our meetings, we'll vote to sign it, and then everybody will have to come up to town hall again and sign it. But so right now, yeah, looking for a motion that we're good with sending it back to the state with the changes that the state made and the responses that we in Berkshire Design have made to the state's comments.
I'd like to make a motion to that effect.
Second.
I'll second.
All right, great. Douglas,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
Fox,
Aye.
and Wilson, aye. Well, thank you all for coming. It was great to see you, Miller and Dave, and welcome to hopefully to Shutesbury.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. Looking forward to meeting everyone.
Yeah, we're looking forward to meeting you guys too. And Mark, we'll keep on going. We're just gonna keep on going.
I know I'm being a little bit redundant, and I just, as you get older, I think as I get older anyway, I start to realize time is very valuable, and that you folks are willing to do this over and over and over again. I can't. I would like to say that I could do that, and I don't think I could. I think that's very impressive. So I thank you all for doing this. It's a volunteer position, and you just keep on hammering away. So it's appreciated. Thank you very much.
All right, have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Just briefly, Mary Ann did respond and said they've been planting the trees and shrubs this week and that they're gonna plant more tomorrow, so.
Oh, good. Did she say anything about seeding the grass? The
I'll ask her
lawn?
that. Yeah. I'll ask her that.
Okay. Good. You could just email us.
Yeah, I'll email.
Okay. Last is unanticipated business, and I do have one thing. A person emailed sort of for an emergency to take down some trees. The address is 678 Pratt Corner Road, which we have done some work there before. A while ago. So he did some drainage work, I remember, and got an RDA for that. But also he had come forward a while ago to take down something like 20 trees and was going to file an RDA, but he never did. Since that time, he started renting the property. So he has tenants in there. And in the past month, one of the trees that he had wanted to take down a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, whenever it was, fell on the roof and really damaged the roof. And he had to actually redo his whole roof. So there's a whole new roof on his house. So he came to me just yesterday or the day before, and or he just emailed me and wanted about an emergency cert for 7 trees, the ones that are the closest to the house. And so I issued it. I can bring it up and show it to you guys. I thought the work was supposed to start today. I drove by and it hasn't started yet, but kind of nice. Share my emergency cert. Yeah, here it is. So it's 678 Pratt Corner Road, Jake Mitchell, issued yesterday. So it's good for a month. So it's for 7 compromised trees, take down and chipped. I said no equipment is allowed to enter. So his front yard, he has one of those streams that goes like under his driveway through a little culvert and then kind of goes diagonal across his yard. His whole yard is wooded. So no equipment allowed to enter the stream area or the bank equipment. Make all efforts to stay on the driveway. So I said, and I told him hopefully you can reach the trees with any smaller equipment. He's not using any real large equipment, and the equipment stay on the driveway. All debris must be removed from the site, and then 7 native trees will be planted within 8 feet of where the removed trees were located. He agreed to do that, to plant new trees, smaller trees. Take 20 years for them to get big. And that was it. Conditions, I just said, see the section that we just looked at. So that's the emergency cert. So I just wanted to, I guess, share it with you guys, and I think you guys have to ratify emergency certs. So does anybody have any questions? No? Okay.
Sounds to me like it was handled well. I have a huge respect for what the damage that trees can do to houses. So, I would like to make a motion that we ratify the enforcement order as drafted.
Emergency cert.
I'm sorry, emergency cert, pardon me.
Oh, great. Second?
Second.
Okay. Douglas? Khan?
Aye.
Fox?
In favor. I'm sorry.
And Wilson? Aye. Great. All right. That's all I had.
Okay.
Any-
Marianne just responded again, and she said that they haven't seeded it, but they're going to use erosion control netting or blankets.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Okay. That's what would be perfect. Great.
Okay.
I love that you can text her right from the meeting and she responds. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, what am I saying again? I couldn't do 2 things at once.
Oh, that's why your eye sounded like.
I was just like, what am I saying? Yeah. So, okay, I'll tell her that that's perfect. Okay.
Mateo, you had your hand up for a second. Did you want to say anything?
Nope, disregard it.
Okay. All right. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Second.
I'll second.
Okay. Fox,
Aye.
Douglas,
Hi.
and Khan,
Aye.
and Wilson. Aye. Great. So we'll see you guys all on November 13th, but also we're going to do the site visit at the library before that,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
What day was that? It's in here, but
I did. Yeah.
it's the 10th. All right. I'll be there.
At 4. Okay. Sounds
Yeah.
great.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night,
Thanks all.
everybody.
Good night.